Hello everyone and welcome. I have a wonderful spring DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, we're going to be using one of the bee wreath forms that you can find at Dollar Tree. This is one of the new wreath forms that just came out this year in 2023. I'll insert the code here. To get started on this, you want to trace out some of the sections here of the bee. You want to trace out the body section, each of the wings and the head. So here on the body, you want to trace on the inside of the wings here till you get to this part, and then you want to trace on the outside. You want to make sure that the material that you use to cover this section is going to be big enough to cover it. So again, here on the inside of the wing, kind of the inside of the head there. So that is my body piece. You also want to mark which is the top. So once it's cut out, you can tell the difference between the top and the bottom because the shape of the wings on the inside is a little bit different. This is just going to give you a little extra space when attaching this part of the body. You want to do that for each wing. You also want to mark what is the top and which one is the right wing and which one is your left. And you also want to do the head. And again, when you trace these, you want to trace on the outside. Once you have all your pieces traced, you can cut them out and set them aside. Now we're going to start to prep our frame. You're going to need some black pipe cleaners. And I like these. These are just the fuzzy chenille stems. And we're going to wrap the little antennas here. So you want to take one end and I wrap it around the main part of the head first, like that, and then just start to wrap it around. So you just want to continue to wrap the antennas here on your bumblebee. You want to do both of them. And then here on the bottom of your bumblebee, from the base of the wing all the way down through the tip and back to the other base, you also want to cover. This is going to make it much easier for you to attach your material, and it's also going to give this area of your bee more definition. I have my antennas on my bee wrapped, and I also have my tail end wrap. I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to move on to doing the wings, and the two bars here all the way around the wings we are going to be wrapping, as well as this single bar here around the head of our bee. And we're going to be doing that with this nice thick chunky chenille yarn. Now you can pick this up at Walmart. I've also seen Joann's and Michael's. They carry something very similar. You're just looking for something thick and black. So I'm just going to start here on the crossbar, and I'm going to glue it on here in the back. Just add a small amount of glue to that crossbar and lay in your chunky yarn. Now to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to pull out a nice long piece and cut it. Make it easier for me to wrap. If you have any issues of your yarn slipping, feel free to add a dot or two of hot glue to hold it in place as you work your way around your wreath form. So I'm just going to continue wrapping until I get both wings and this single bar around the head wrapped in my thick black chenille yarn. A wrapping tip for you on this wreath form: when you come down to this nice sharp point, when you reach the dip, you want to then go and just wrap the single bar down one side, add a little bit of glue at the tip, and then wrap the single bar up until you meet the dip again. That way you're not going to get any bunching and you'll get a nice clean wrap. So see, I'm coming in between and I'm only going to wrap that single bar. Do that a couple times until I reach where the dip is, and then I can go back to wrapping both bars. My bee frame is all wrapped and ready to go. I'm really happy with that. I got a really nice coverage and it looks good on both sides. Now to do the head and the body, I have my two pieces cut out. For the head, I'm going to be using this soft poly mesh. It's weatherproof. I did pick this up from Joann's. And then for the body, I'm going to be using poly burlap mesh. And I like this because, one, it's weather resistant. Two, it has a thicker weave than, say, Dollar Tree mesh. So it's going to be less see-through. So I only need a small piece of each of these to do this. The rest of it I will use on another project. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials I used to complete this project. It tells you exactly how much you're going to need and where I purchased those items. And since I'm going to double it, I'm going to take one of my edges right up to the fold so that the pieces will be together even after I cut them out. And then just go ahead and trim out your circle. You can give yourself a little excess space. Okay, and then on the back, we're going to hot glue this over the head area. Once I have it down, I'm going to go over it again, add another rim of hot glue, and this time I'm going to follow it with some of the black chenille yarn. This will give it nice and secure, plus it'll clean up the back and make it look nice. Very cute. You want to do the same thing to the bottom here with your yellow. Now you don't have to use the poly burlap mesh. You can use fabric, you can use felt, use whatever you can find in a black and yellow material. I have my yellow glued on. Now I have not added the black trim around it yet. There's one more thing I want to add before I do that. I want to add a few little stripes here. And I'm just going to use the black chenille stems. Just cut it down to the length that you want. I'm probably only going to add maybe 3 stripes down here. So I cut a piece that's a little bit longer than the area I want to add it. And then I'm just going to take that end, since they are wired, and I'm going to wrap it around and squeeze it onto the back. When I glue on the black chenille yarn on the back, that will fully secure these down. But for right now, I'm just going to get them into place. Now to go behind the wings here, I have this really pretty fabric that I found at Dollar Tree in their Crafter Square section. This is one of their fat quarters. It's 18 inches by 21 inches. This is 100% cotton. and I really like this. It's not a real white, it has a little bit of a gray tone to it, and then I like the print. Of course, it's got the little bees on it, so I thought that would look really pretty. Now before you trace these out, you want to make sure that the front is facing down. And you want the pattern, if you've chosen a fabric that has a pattern, you want to make sure that the pattern is going in the same direction on both of your wings. That's why I've placed them kind of facing each other, as they will be here on my bee. So I will slightly angle them a little bit. Okay. And then once you find your placement, just trace them out and cut them out. I have my one wing attached, and now I'm getting ready to attach my other wing. And once I get it cut out, I just really get it laid in where I want to place it. I've had to go in and do additional trimming. You want to make sure that it's going to cover everything, but that you don't have a lot of excess fabric. You don't want it to hang over. Just a little bit, right there. Okay, once you're happy with how it's trimmed, then you can start gluing it down. I found this area right here next to the head is a good place to start. Just be careful not to burn yourself. Now I'm adding my black chenille stem, trimming out the back, and as I'm doing that, I'm here at the peak of one of the wings. This is where I want to put my hanger, because I want my bee to kind of hang on the side like this. So I have a full length pipe cleaner. Take those ends, kind of twist it around each other like this. Pull that down, that's going to be the bottom. I'm going to give another twist with my finger in there. Okay. Now this is the part I'm going to glue down, and I'm going to glue it down underneath the chenille yarn here, so that's why I'm going to attach it now. I have all my chenille yarn trimmed out in the back. Now this makes the back of your wreath look nice and clean. And then on the front, it's so adorable. Now I did have a little bit of trouble of some hot glue that seeped through down here. Now there's a couple tips on how you can handle that. If you get a large amount, let it fully dry, and then just use a wire cutter to get in and to snip it out. And then if you have just little bits that you can see, take a black Sharpie permanent marker and just go over those areas where you can see the glue that's seeping through on the black there, and just cover it up with the Sharpie. And no one will ever know it's there. So I'm very happy with that. Now the chenille yarn does like to collect things, so you just want to make sure that you go through and you clean off any residue, maybe any glue strings or any fuzzies from the material that you used. I think our bee is so cute. Now I want to add a little bit of a bow right here, so we're going to work on that next. Okay, we're going to work on our bow. Now I have some really cute ribbon that I picked up from Dollar Tree. This is their 2.5 inch at 9 feet. And then this is 1.5 inch at 9 feet, and this one is also 1.5 inch at 9 feet. I think they're so cute. I'm going to start with the largest ribbon here. Now I don't want a very long tail, so I'm only going to measure it at about 5 inches. I'm going to pinch and then twist. Now on your tails, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing up, but as you come through and you go to make your loops, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing down. And on this one, I'm going to be making 2 loops on either side, and I'm only going to be making them about 3 inches. I don't want a very big bow on this. Next, I'm going to go to my bee ribbon. Again, I'm only going to go about 5 inches on my tail, pinch and twist. And on these loops, I'm only going to go about 2 inches, and I'm going to do 2 on either side. And on this ribbon, again, I'm going to measure my tails at 5 inches, pinch and twist. And then on this one, I'm just going to do 1 loop on either side at 2 inches. Then I'm going to measure 1 more piece here at, let's see, 6 inches. I'm going to take that, fold it in half, and slide that down. That's going to be my little center bump for my bow. You need a pipe cleaner. Feed that in down one side till you get next to your dowel rods. You want to lift that up. I pinch it together and then I push down my ribbon. Pinch right at the base and then lift out. This will help keep everything nice and stacked. Now when you wrap it, you want to make sure that small piece of ribbon stays on the correct side. Then just wrap your pipe cleaner around to the back, get it nice and tight, and twist down. Now I always like to hold my ribbon right in the center, so I'm just going to open that center loop and hold. Then you just want to pull your tails down and open up all your loops. If you need to do any adjusting, you want to go right down to where it comes out and adjust it there. If you need to do any twisting or unfolding or whatever's going on to get it to lay the way that you want. But that's approximately what your bow should look like. And I will trim my tails and do the final adjusting when I get it onto the wreath. So I want to place my bow right here in the center, and I decided I want my tails kind of going in all different directions along with the loops. Now to attach this, I ran a pipe cleaner through the center loop, and I've fed it through the back here. So I have one coming through where the head is and one coming in between the 2 wings. And then I'm just going to pull snug, twist, trim my pipe cleaners, and then tuck them. Make sure that sharp edge is facing forward. And then just play and then do your final adjustment with your loops and your tails. I'm going to keep all my tails relatively short. I'm going to cut them about the same length or slightly longer than the loops. And there you go, we're all done. I have my bow fully adjusted. I opened up all my loops, and I really do like the way I did my tails. I kind of went in all different directions. I like that much better than pulling them all down. And I love the color combination with the ribbons. I think they go very well on this wreath. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's bumblebee wreath tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and show me some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. If you know anyone else who would enjoy my content, please share it with them. If you enjoy craft tutorials and Dollar Tree hauls, you're going to want to check out these other videos. Thanks again for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.